everybody, so today we are doing a book haul. I'm so excited to share them with you because there are so many. They're all fantasy and sci-fi and magic, so no contemporary here today, which means that I'm finally in my element. So as always, there will be links to all of the books, so if you want to check any of them out, check out the links below. I'm going to start off with a really cool thing. So this box came to my house and I was like, excuse me, sorry, what is this giant thing? And I look on the front, I'm going to hide my dress so I don't need stalkers, and I see the Hot Escape logo and I think I might know what this is. So I open it up and freak out. They have sent people howler packs. So you get a tote bag from Red Rising by Pierce Brown, and there's character profiles, stickers and bookmarks, and right at the bottom was the actual book. So Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's really funny, but it's very dark. So it's sort of The Martian times 100. So they're living on this planet. It's a sort of dystopian future. It gets very intense. I thought this was, you know, just any other sci-fi, but the amount of death and the punishments that they have in this world. So this next one, I kind of nearly passed out when it came through the door, and that is Warcross by Marie Lu. I'm sort of sinful because I've not read Marie Lu's previous series, but this was really anticipated for me because it sounds so good. It's about virtual reality and this girl who is a bounty hunter, so it just ticks all of the boxes. I actually read a few chapters and let me tell you, they are so engaging and I'm so looking forward to reading this. Next I have The Silkworm by Robert Galbraith, aka J.K. Rowling, and I bought this for myself because if you're in the UK you probably watched The Cuckoo's Calling and The Silkworm that came out on the BBC. They made an adaptation and I just couldn't wait for the weekly episodes because I hadn't read the series. So I bought myself the book so I didn't have to wait for the show every week. I am so obsessed with the series now. Cormoran Strike is just life, and he's a detective, and it's sort of like Sherlock meets Luther, you know, the Luther, the psychological thriller. Crazy show, but it's sort of mixed between the two. Big Little Lies is next on my list, and this is a murder mystery. It's a TV show on HBO, hence why it's the TV show cover for the book. I have talked about this book briefly on my channel as I went to the launch of the DVD, and it was so much fun. We did yoga, we ate healthy food, so I'll link that video down below if you want to see it. But Big Little Lies is pretty much about this town, and everyone is really rich and they have all these grand houses and everything looks perfect. Little do they know, everyone has these secrets, and when they all start spilling out, it takes on a really dark turn. And I love the adaptation. It is incredible and would highly recommend. Then I got The Ninth Reign by Jen Williams. This is an adult fantasy, which I'm really intrigued by because I don't read a lot of adult. The only adult that I have read so far is psychological thrillers, but this is pure high fantasy. So this is about an explorer and a fugitive that sort of have to team up together for survival, and they're looking for these artifacts, and this is right up my street. There's never a video when I don't mention the series, but this is actually a great excuse to mention it. Tarnished City came through the mail, and you know when your favourite book series, when you're anticipating release dates, but then your favourite book ever comes in the mail before release? Moment of silence. When I opened this mail, I dropped everything. I didn't even care what books I was reading. So if you haven't heard me talking about this yet, this is my favourite book ever in the world. It follows this world where there's these rich aristocrats who have magic powers, and then we have these commoners who are the normal people with no powers that have to offer themselves up for 10 years in service for these equals. This is kind of a Slytherin book, so if you enjoy just really dark worlds, this is perfect for you. Then I have 2084 by various authors, as this is an anthology. The title is sort of a clue. So if you've read George Orwell's 1984, you will know what sort of book this might be. So it has 12 stories predicting the future. These authors have come up with a mini story of what they think will happen in 2084, much like 1984 by George Orwell, and I'm really intrigued because there's so many stories. It's got sci-fi things, it's got some real life things. I'm excited. I also went to the launch for Satellite by Nick Lake, and Bookmark, the publishers, was so amazing because they gave us a goodie bag with the actual book in it. And this is Sci-Fi, in case you couldn't tell. I mean, there's an astronaut on the front. It follows this boy who has lived in space his whole life, and it's now time to go back to Earth. And it sort of follows his journey and where he belongs. So this sounds great because, you know, you can never have enough sci-fi. This book I am so freaking out over. So this is Mythos by Stephen Fry. Stephen Fry is one of my favourite humans in the world. He narrates the Harry Potter books for Audible, and his voice is perfect for any narrative. I got the entire Sherlock Holmes collection on Audible purely because he narrates it. He wrote his own book retelling Greek mythology, and I'm so all over that. The next thing is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Almost Midnight by Rainbow Rowell. This is so cute and small, and it's pretty much just some Christmas stories for the season. So I might dip into this on Christmas Day or something. I feel like it will be the perfect time. So I'm going to show you some arcs that I have, which I'm just dying over and need to read ASAP. So first I have The Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi Adeyemi. Everyone is raving about this book, so I am just putting it to the top of my TBR because it sounds epic. It's about this ruthless king and magic that disappeared from this world, and so the main character has this chance to bring magic back, and it's sort of her journey trying to get there and meeting these monsters on the way. The next book, I mean, Renegades by Marissa Meyer. This book comes out in April, and if you haven't pre-ordered, you're mad. So there are these humans that have these abilities, and they're seen as this symbol of peace, and everyone pretty much loves them except the villains that they overturned. And this one girl is on a mission to infiltrate them and ruin them. So as many of you know, it's the 20th anniversary of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Simon & Schuster created this guide to slaying, which has interviews with the cast in each of the seasons. So you have their opinions on certain plot points and interviews with Joss Whedon, who created the series, and have a whole Buffy video celebrating the 20th anniversary. So I'll link it down below if you want to see it. I get very fangirlish about Spike. But who doesn't love Spike? I mean, just, whew. Hi. Then I have a legal thriller called Last Will by William McIntyre. When Sandstone Press offered this to me, I didn't even need a second to think about it. I am a law student, I'm studying law at university, so if I just hear legal thriller, I am there. If you love J.K. Rowling's The Cuckoo's Calling series, you will love this. So Robbie, the main character, really reminds me of Cornerman in the best way. And if you love Sherlock and shows like that, he's an actual lawyer who is dealing with this really big high-profile case, but he stupidly stumbles upon a crime scene with one of his sort of not so legal clients, but at the same time he's struggling to get custody of his daughter, so they want to prove that he's an unfit father. He supposedly takes time off to care for her, but he's got this high-profile case, and it is so good. The plot twists at the end, let me tell you. I was shook, and I just couldn't even, nope. I've been waiting for this book since 2014. I think the last one came out. If you didn't know, this is a continuation or a spin-off series of the Myra Dyer trilogy by Michelle Hodkin. I cried when I opened this book post, and I shit you not, I fully cried, real tears from a Slytherin. It happened. This is a really dark sort of paranormal psychological book. I am in love with this series because it's very eerie and you don't know what's real and what isn't, and this book, obviously I can't tell you really what happens because you'll be spoiled on the whole first trilogy, but the trilogy is incredible, and it follows this girl who was in this fire and she can't remember anything, and she starts having these visions and weird things start happening to her. It is such an emotional roller coaster. Then I have Rosemarked by Livia Blackburn. Her name is so similar to mine, you know, Livia. Connections. I am really intrigued by this book. So Disney Hyperion have published this, so obviously I have high hopes because I loved Royal Bastards so much, which is my favourite fantasy ever, and it's sort of similar. So this is a fantasy, of course, and it follows these two characters. So you have this girl who has been shut off by her community. She's living off in isolation, and we have this other soldier who's, you know, gonna be probably my new husband. They get thrown together for this mission. So they have to spy on the capital. I'm so excited. This sounds so good. I need to read this ASAP because also, can I just, there's a map. There's a pink map. Okay, so this I actually died at, and City of Bones Anniversary Edition. I am telling you, when I opened this package, the breath left my soul. I was freaking out to the max, and that, you know, happens with every book mail, but with this one particularly, I mean, I just have no words. As you know, I'm a huge fan. I love all Cassandra Clare's books. To have the anniversary edition, I am shook. It has drawings of the characters that you don't have in the normal edition. I'm so confused. When I first opened this, why is Jace and Magnus on one page and then Clary and Alec on the same page? That makes no sense whatsoever. That is just wrong, but you know, they're beautiful, so I guess I forgive them. And at the back, there's a picture of Jace, hello, and there's clay files. So on each character, there is a file and details of what, you know, things they do. So as I mentioned, I love mythology because I bought myself Mythos by Stephen Fry. This book mail is so similar. It's about the Norse gods. So in particular, you have Thor and Loki, aka the Bays from Marvel, but you know, the real mythology, not the superhero versions. And it's illustrated and it's really gorgeous, and I can't wait to actually properly read this. And the drawings really remind me of the story in Deathly Hallows. You know how they show the story of the three brothers? So then I won a giveaway from Tomes with T, and she was doing a giveaway for Fantastic Beasts, the illustrated edition. This is just a need, a real big need in my life, because I love the Harry Potter illustrated editions. And this one is absolutely stunning. I mean, the dragons. Just look at this book. The next book is The Scorpio Races by Maggie Stiefvater, and my best friend actually bought me this. This sounds so good. And let me tell you, this is the most unique plot I've ever heard. It's about this town that every year these horses come out from the sea. And they're these killer horses that people catch and then race. Sorry, what? What do you mean? That's an actual plot. And I'm so intrigued by this because this is obviously a Maggie Stiefvater book and she can do no wrong, so I can't wait to read this. Then I have The Lost Plot by Genevieve Cogman. This is about librarians and spies and adventure, and I'm there for it. It has dragons and wolves and all of the things that I love. And this cover is also just giving me all the feels. I don't even know how many books that was, because it should be illegal for anyone to have this many books and just not keep up with reading them. I am so grateful to all of the publishers that send me books. But I hope you enjoyed this book haul. I hope you got some great recommendations from this video, because I am obsessed with all of these. So I highly recommend checking them all out. So as I said at the beginning, links down below. So don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you next time. Bye!